What I decided to do after a lot of looking around on the internet and talking with fellow Pietenpol builders, I decided to build what's called the Riblet style wing, which this particular rib here is a Riblet, and it's the 612. There's also I think it's a 613 or a 613.5, but this is the 612 Riblet rib, and it's a little bit different than the original Pietenpol rib. And I've heard that this is a little bit better performer. If you do some research on the internet and maybe get on the Pietenpol list and talk to some people, you'll find out more specifics about it. But this is the rib I decided to do, and this will be the rib, obviously, that I'll be talking about in this video. So it's really no different procedure-wise than building any other rib, but just wanted to let you know up front that the Riblet's what I decided to go on.
The very first thing that I did while I was waiting for my plans to arrive in the mail was I bought some rough cut Sitka, which you see here. These boards came from a place called Public Lumber, and I found them on the internet. These are 1x8 boards. I bought a total of 3, and what I did with these is went ahead and ripped them and made my own cap strips, basically because I wanted to make sure that I got the proper sizes, and cutting them yourself you can inspect the wood and you know exactly what kind of quality you're going to get. And it kept me busy while I was waiting for the prints to show. Here you see one of the Sitka boards ripped lengthwise into these fatter wood segments, and then each of the fatter wood segments are again ripped lengthwise into the rough dimensions for the cap strips. Once these are finished being ripped, then they will be individually run through the planer to get me to the exact size of 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. And out of these 3 Sitka boards, like I said, they were 1 inch by 8 inch. I got about 64, I believe, usable individual strips by the time I got them all ripped and run through the planer. So I need to order more to finish the ribs, but that was enough to get me started and help pass the time while I waited on prints. This shot here is probably pretty much worthless, but I wanted to stick it in here regardless. Behind my right hand you can see the rough cut strips that I had cut from the Sitka boards, and it's just a matter of running them through the planer multiple times and checking the dimensions and just whittle them down until you get the required 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch as called out on the prints. Ah yes, the little ones. Of course, I don't want to keep them away from the airplane at all while I'm building it, so they venture out from time to time into the shop, and of course I make them wear their hearing protection when they're out there with me. And they were just having a little bit of a good time out there with the noise and fooling around with having their hearing protection on and off, and making faces, and you know, just in general being goofy. I guess it runs in the family, you might say. But I just stuck them in there, you know, in the video here, just as a little reminder. If you do have little ones, I highly encourage getting them and the rest of the family who would be interested, getting them all involved and keeping it a family project. And then, of course, continuing on after the planer, you have your hopefully nice, clean, square, precise 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch cap strips. This obviously is not the complete pile of cap strips. Like I said, I think I got 64 total out of those 3 boards. This is just the small pile. I just want to get a shot in here so you have a general idea what cap strips are and what they may look like. And here's the proof. And of course, these pictures are not staged. Right. But they do represent the dimensions of the cap strip.
Hey everybody, just wanted to say real quick again, thanks for checking out my YouTube videos, and just a couple of real quick tidbits before you leave. if you'd be so kind as to check out my GoFundMe page. The link is down in the description of these videos. For those of you who find it in your heart to donate for this new cause of mine, I've got another project going on, and there's some really cool things I'd like to do with this aircraft, and again, that's all explained in my GoFundMe. But if you find moved enough to go do that and donate, I've got this horizontal stabilizer skin, and donors will get their name put on this skin, and ultimately when this gets filled and the aircraft gets finished, this is going to be hung up on the wall of honor in my hangar. Just a little bit of recognition for those donors who helped make the project a reality. Another thing too is, I'm sure you've noticed that even this video that I'm making right now is of the same or worse quality than the video that you just watched, and that's because, believe it or not, this camera is the exact same camera that I filmed the original hint videos with. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not really sure why, but I know the video quality lacks, but hopefully the information within is worth something. And the other thing that I want to mention real quick is, again, these are little snippets from my hint video DVDs, so a lot of these individual clips just kind of come to an abrupt end. That's just the way it is when I'm trying to rip these DVDs apart and re-edit them into small little segments, and they just kind of end weird at times. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And again, thanks, and I hope you'll come back, check out my channel, and see if there are any new videos and updates. All right, I'll talk to you then. See you.